Purgatory. All right, listen, guys. It was a very short turnaround time between the Volzhaki Unity series coming into this one. Vincent and I needed a break to refresh ourselves. We apologize for no pre-game. I don't even have time to explain it because we're already back on Anubis. It feels like a fever dream. New names, same map, we're underway.
Yeah, we just got done watching 60 rounds of Anubis. At minimum, going to need 13 more. It's WW. Strong start with Strogo, a double kill. And the remaining ex-RUSTEC members, which we have confirmed for the foreseeable future, at least for the rest of this event, ex-RUSTEC will be playing with Shelfie. Have been doing so, at least for the last 3 series in their Swiss performance, and then now into the round of 16. Nuke has a little bit of a gap. I like. There's tentative.
Yeah, I mean, it started all right for ex-RUSTEC, got the opening kill on C-Tom, but just a flurry of frags in response from WW, Brilliance, and Nuke, like you say, trying to make something of this. Nuke with the P250 going to be coming through from the back lines. He's now been spotted compromised, hasn't caught anybody off guard. The Brilliance is probably now trying to find a way to get himself in on the action, but it's going to be a clean containment here from WW as they open up with a pistol on their opponent's pick.
Ah, man, is that refreshing. 2v4. No chance.
I've got so much trauma.
Oh, man. I didn't want to say anything because, like, we got power. This is WW team. It's always fun to watch Deco in particular. I actually think Nisu is pretty fun to watch. I know like the stats aren't incredible or anything, but I think there's definitely other individuals who are like capable, but Deco's the headliner. What I do want to mention is that this team is really hot and cold, man. Like they just won that LAN BP, beat them in a 5-map series, like gained 42 positions in the VRS with that win. And then like the next day they lost to Cybershock Academy 0-2.
Oh my god. I mean, that Cybershock Academy team apparently has got a lot to get excited about, but still, yeah. I'm just gonna call that the LAN hangover, bro. That's just the LAN hangover.
Yeah, like that's a valid point, but it's also really funny and
I agree.
A pretty ridiculous comparison.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. That is true. I'm surprised this WW team is still going, to be honest with you. When they kind of come together a couple months ago, it looked like a fun project on paper, but looked like one of those things that would just peter out. I didn't expect them to carry on grinding with this 5 and actually be able to make up the ground that they have. I mean, obviously the big name here is Deco. He's been one of my favorite players for the past 5 years on that same 1-win team I was telling you about yesterday with Glowing, and how kind of close they were to my heart because of how much I covered of them when I started casting. And yeah, Deco was one of those guys that was just so entertaining to watch. Obviously, when you look at his capabilities, he hasn't nearly performed at the level that he could have if he wanted to. And that's the only reason he hasn't, is because he hasn't wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I really was in the same boat, I feel like, coming up when I watched that Aurora team with Kinsey and Norway and Deco and Laddick. Those were very, very fun.
Yes.
You got ex-RUSTEC on these guns. They're creeping through middle. Yusu, great contact, and he'll just be able to fall back. Now he's got the ability to play together with Deco. That's a brilliant flashbang, and the both of them collapse. It's pretty paint by numbers Counter-Strike in the best way.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very difficult for Patsy and Brilliance to try and find a way back in the round. In fact, yeah, it seems like they've consigned themselves to just trying to keep these AKs in play. Now, I think ex-RUSTEC have lost a lot of ground with the X-Rezo no longer being a part of this team. He was their best rifler. He was their best rifler at current form. Not in terms of potential. In current form, he was the man. He had insane mechanics, sharp first bullet accuracy. C-Tom's going to swing. Oh, not far from spoiling the day there of Patsy and Brilliance, or at least the round. But I think ex-RUSTEC lose a lot of ground. Now, Shelfie, sure, very experienced player, but doesn't bring the same sort of firepower you got from X-Rezo.
No, and also like I think Jake has I didn't like look into it, but I seem to recall like under Rustic, like he was pretty good and his stats right now suck. Same situation like you're saying with Brilliance. And then on top of that, you lose the other exciting piece that we were both like, yeah, this looks fun. And no disrespect to Shelfie, like it's just not really a like for like.
No, and yeah, far from it. I wish I knew who the IGL was of this ex-RUSTEC team.
If I know, I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing on Wikipedia. There's nothing on HLTV. I thought it was Patsy, but I'm not certain. If there's anybody who's watching who has an inkling, go on and share it in the chat. I'll keep an eye out. Good round here for ex-RUSTEC so far. Job's not done yet, though. Man advantage as they managed to set themselves up on A with the plant.
Yeah, and WW, they're relatively far out. They're going to retake and clear middle again. I also am concerned for Kellyan. He's just not really got a great way back in. Patsy's got a good flank. There's a timing to be had for Patsy. Oh, and he really done it brilliantly. Yeah, Kellyan never really looked all that interested. WW going to give out the rest of this round, and ex-RUSTEC on a half buy doing some really good work.
Yeah, great way for them to open up their account here. Their map pick. I think the one level they'll struggle on a lot against this WW team is firepower. Deco, C-Tom, Kelly, and even Musu has his moments. Strogo, yeah. I mean, you know what?
Guy.
He's gotten better. I will say that, because when this team came together, he was only on this team because he made this team. Like, he's not as bad as what Overdrive once was when he used to do similar sort of things, but it's like Overdrive.
Really low bar.
I know. But there's like a very light version of what Strogo was to WW to what Overdrive was to some of those teams. But like I say, he's actually improved.
He's also like the reason that there's a lot of eyes, at least like in the Russian viewer sphere. I mean, Deco in his own right is like now in that category too, but like Strogo's been doing that for a long while.
I mean, he's streaming this game right now, and he's already up to 23,000 viewers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's about the quote unquote streamer team.
Yes, exactly. Etom tries to peek back into A main. He's gone down, means we're into a 4v4 as a result. 3 of the 4 for ex-RUSTEC here. 3 of the 4 for WW on the scene as well. Numbers even. 2 AWPs for the CT side. Not ideal. Deco with his and then Strogo with the other. Brilliance has done really well to double down, but Strogo will find a frag back and then Musu in on the act as well. Means Shelfie is left alone in the 1v2.
Oh, not ideal there for Musu. Strogo's now got the angle, but he's just over swinging a little bit. I think Shelfie a bit more vision and a little bit of patience for Shelfie is going to pay off big time. ex-RUSTEC taking a win here at 2 in a row. That should be WW's economy. I was about to say busted up, but actually they've got like way more money than I thought. They're going to buy again, and it's good enough for 3 weapons of significance.
I love that Deco is not dropping an MP9. That's completely on brand. It's like, nope, this is my money, and I want it all, so I will be keeping it for rounds that come in the future. And Yuka, I love the way he's been able to actually take that fight, find the angle, and drop his opposite number. It's going to be a hell of an AWP battle between the two teams, Yuka and Deco. Both extremely talented AWPers, both fast, flicky AWPers who love enacting their will upon the game.
I think Yuka's the bright spot in what we've otherwise painted to be a pretty brutal picture of ex-RUSTEC right now. Especially when you consider that they've played their last 3 events with 3 different guys.
Yeah, true.
Hard to have any level of consistency, even though they've been, they've been in like quarterfinals for all the events they've played recently. Into the setup. Players here, Musu yet to be made known, and T-Tom, even as he's blinded, a brilliant shot. 38 seconds, they're going to back away. There is space taken on the other side of the map, but the bomb is in trouble. Brilliant. And he escaped. Strogo won't be able to deny them, but that does buy a little bit of time. T-Tom hasn't yet arrived, but Musu's coming in from the other direction, and Strogo's done it again.
Yeah, he's having a hell of a round here. He's even going to be able to finish off the job as well. Brilliantly done there by Strogo to actually come through and find 3 kills and finish off the job. WW, with their last buy that they could afford, they will win the round to make sure they keep distance between themselves and ex-RUSTEC. And ex-RUSTEC don't actually have enough money to purchase back in. Yeah, they're going to have to save.
That's so unfortunate for ex-RUSTEC, because truthfully, like, you probably, if you win 2 T rounds like that in a row, you probably most times will be breaking the CT money. And it just so happened that that wasn't the case. And great round from Strogo, who didn't even start the round with the op. He had the pistol, and he just picked that up off of Deco's body.
Yeah, that's true. Saying, hey, Deco, you can take a back seat here, mate. Watch how it's done. Alien up close with the MP9. Combined with Deco in on middle. And they found 3 frags between the 2 of them. Sharp shot there from C-Tom as well. C-Tom's a hell of a rifler, by the way. He's got really sharp mechanics on the rifle. He's definitely the best rifle on WW, at least for my money.
The sad thing is, I think Deco's the best rifle on WW.
Okay. You know what? You got me there.
But
that is true.
Fair point.
I hadn't considered that, but I do agree.
Yeah, not to take anything away from C-Tom, because I do actually really like what this guy's shown. I don't really know anything about. Is he a streamer, or like, what's the deal? He's just like been on this WW team. Yeah.
Yeah, he's also a streamer.
Really young. Like, he's 23.
Like, check his Twitch. I think he's got like tens of thousands of followers on Twitch as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll take a peek. Oh, geez, yeah. 500,000.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. My bad. Sorry, undersold that one a little bit. Drogo's at, I think, 2 mil plus. I didn't check earlier.
Yeah. I mean, he's massive. That I know. Like, I'm just not that plugged in. So
yes. No, absolutely. Fair enough. Brilliance plugged in here. Great. 2 kills coming through from him to open up for ex-RUSTEC in this all-important gun round, just to make sure WW don't start tearing too far ahead into, like, unassailable territory. It is crazy that we have 900 viewers here on the main broadcast. And Strogo, he's not streaming. It's like somebody he knows that's streaming on his channel and is co-streaming the game, basically, has an excess of 25,000. That's like 26, 27 times the viewership on one of the players' streams, just to try and like put it in perspective kind of thing.
All right, I've just like fallen down a rabbit hole. I'll explain in a second once this round.
Okay. Yeah, no, all good, mate. This one, it is over.
Oh, it is. Okay, we're good. So I like I said, I was looking at C-Tom's Twitch. He's got like a banner for something, and obviously I don't read Russian, but it's got like a character from an anime called Kuroko no Basket, just like a basketball anime. Basically, the players in the basketball game essentially just have like a unique superpower. Like, that's not the way it's framed, but that's definitely what it is.
Okay.
But I was like, okay, what in the world is this? The ad for? I've clicked it, and I don't understand the connection, but it's somehow, some way, a GTA RP server is what it is. And I don't understand the connection to the anime at all, but it's kind of cool.
Okay, all right. I mean, yeah, I like that. And that's about all I have to add, to be honest. That is kind of cool.
I guess he's like an anime enjoyer. I get further to that point. Why are like all the young Russians coming up like all anime fans? Because like, I mean,
And they have been
Hyusuke,
for a while, right? Yeah, it's not like a very new thing.
That's a Japanese name.
Yeah, compared to the guys like Seized before, you know?
Yeah. Or, I mean,
Like,
Yusu, definitely
I
like
know.
an anime sounding name.
And I'm not even, when I say Seized, I mean, just think about him as what he was as a person is like so far from what you would associate with an anime enjoyer. I think it's the microplastics, Vincent.
That's a good one. Well, it's a huge frag from Jake, because the fact that he's blind and still able to connect is pretty impressive. Alien down, ex-RUSTEC. They've got a lot of options open to them. Strogo is going active.
Elfie's reading it, though.
Really nicely, too.
ex-RUSTEC starting to get the game going on. Yeah, Deco going to drop down first frag found on Patsy. He needed Musu to try and lock things down. I mean, there's a team kill in the mix, which will help. Deco's going to opt to flex his rifling muscles. And C-Tom's going to come through from long. He can't do much immediately. But that smoke is now faded. I don't think anybody's going to try and cross the traffic at this point, though.
Yeah, I don't think so either. You're a little too late. No recovery in this round. And ultimately a round that I think WW like serve up their own demise in. They try and take some aggressive duels. That first one in middle, like, truth be told, WW set it up well. They threw the flash. JKIS was blinded. He just managed to get the kill anyway. But then Strogo is trying to recover the man down by pushing, and it's relatively alone. There's no flash to support, and Shelfie really reads into it. That's something that I think Shelfie is really valuable on this ex-RUSTEC team for. That level of experience, like he's not going to get caught out like maybe some younger players would.
Yeah, agreed. That's a very good point to make. And I feel like that experience will make up for the fact that they're lacking that extra firepower, that extra yard of firepower, because they didn't have much experience on the team outside of Patsy. And I always like the distribution of 2 experienced players with 3 young up-and-comers. I always think that's a really good split to have within a team. And they've kind of got that now between Shelfie and Patsy. Honestly, weird enough, like two guys who have been around in the same pond for a long time, but their waters have never really been muddied together, have Shelfie and Patsy, right?
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's sort of a tragedy on the Shelfie side, because like it's just because Patsy basically like jumped the entire tier that Shelfie's spent his entire career in.
Have they ever been on a team officially together before?
I can look. I can find out.
I'm kind of like going back through it now, and there appears to be 0 overlap between them. Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, maybe some stand-in stints here and there, but there's nothing official of teams in which they've both been a part of at the same time. Moment here for C-Tom with the yaw posted on the angle. Will take down Brilliance at the first opportunity, and he's going to cower, or should I say cower? He falls back. Cower's not a very nice word to use there, with him making the right move. He's got some support with the rifle in the same position. Man advantage. Bomb plant will be found here at least for this T side. Akez is low. That's a lovely job out of Yuka, who will dish out the same treatment to Kellyan as well. Strogo actually able to adjust for the kill on Patsy. Now, where's Musi? He's so far away, bro. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be a while before Musi... They're going to save. There's 0 intent here from WW to retake. And there we go. That is it, unfortunately. Musi's found the kill. If there was a kit, there is a kit, but it's on Strogo. The kit's on Strogo. Can he get on the sites in time? He can't find the bomb. Oh, no. And now he's going to die to the explosion as well. Oh my goodness. All right, well, ex-RUSTEC successfully make it 5 apiece. Not enough money here for a full purchase of your WW either. All right, well, I say that, but they've actually been able to piece together a decent set of weaponry here with 3 rifles and 2 MP9s. But the game has certainly had a distinct change in direction in the past couple. As ex-RUSTEC have won, I think it's, 3 consecutive rounds now. As they start to get some momentum going, get the ball rolling. And an opportunity for a lead and a bit of an easier time of it in the final round of the half if they can win this one, especially if they spare nobody. ex-RUSTEC just taking their time, fanning themselves out here, and for the most part, a default approach. WW, nothing really untoward from them either. Feels like ex-RUSTEC have kind of forced WW to respect them a bit more here.
And I feel like WW haven't shown a lot of respect in some of these prior rounds. They just like constantly serving up aggression in one form or another.
Yes, exactly.
Gonna end up on the way because the opener, and Kellyan will have to settle back in. The double though inside of E-Box, I was actually meaning the double setup, but it's Musu with the double kill, and that'll do. Great work from him. Has left Yuka and Patsy alive. Musu still not gone. And Patsy will be punished. No way. Yuka on the way to a 1v3.
Is this Snow or is this Yuka? Well, I don't know, because it's raining kills, and Yuka's done it. He saved the day for ex-RUSTEC. He's clutched it out to get them across the line and actually go on to get the lead.
Strong stuff from ex-RUSTEC, gotta be said. And from Yuka individually. Before I just step away for a moment, I did do like some extra looking. Like I added the Patsy and Shalfie together to see if they had any like random maps, expanded situations. No, 0 before this
0
lineup.
Wow. Okay. I mean, obviously, yeah, like you said, they've had a couple here in the past few days, but that's about it. I'm shocked for 2 players that have been around for like over 5-6 years now at this point that they haven't crossed paths. Horsepower for WW cobbled together. Auto shotty in on middle for Deco. Good for a kill, but that's about it. There's a bit of chip damage that's been done to a few of these individuals. So although there's a man advantage for ex-RUSTEC, it doesn't carry as much weight as it usually would.
Right into the crosshair of Yuka goes Strogo. And that's the thing that I think is most effective for ex-RUSTEC right now is that like they get a man advantage, and then WW just they filter through aggression after aggression after aggression where they compound the problem. Because if the first re-aggression doesn't work, it's almost even more unlikely that the next will work, and et cetera, et cetera.
For me, the thing is, like, how much more do they have besides just 5th gear? Can they play and scale through the gears up to 5th and not just try and start at 5th? And if that doesn't work, then it's cooked. Either way, very good recovery from ex-RUSTEC from a 3-5 deficit to a 7-5 half.
I'm with you on the recovery point, but let's be real. Like 5 CT rounds ain't bad at all for WW. And I know that this is ex-RUSTEC's map selection. Looking into what we've seen from WW, I mean they've had a few matches. They beat TDK in the semifinals of that LAN I was mentioning, and then it was one of the maps they won in their BO5 final against VP. But it was also one of the maps they lost against Cybershock Prospects. Have you actually watched that Cybershock Prospects team? Like, have you gotten to see them?
No. I just go off of like what some of our colleagues have said about them. Have you?
Yeah, no, I haven't either. So I'm like in the exact same boat. I think it's interesting that Vert is the coach over there.
Yeah, true. I did notice that as well, actually, and I kind of like that progression in his career, coaching an academy team. All right, well, here we go. Fast and Furious from WW. Like we said, this is basically all they know. And it's successfully gotten them into the B bomb site. Shelfie's going to get chased down. Deco looking to force that fight. Kellyan's gotten a kill in the meantime. Deco flirting with Shelfie. Actually going to eventually lose that duel. Finally a sign of success here for ex-RUSTEC, but they need a whole lot more. And it just feels like it's not going to happen. I mean, Yuka and Patsy, last two players alive. And yeah, they've been dealt with decisively by C-Tom.
It's kind of insane, man. Like, I again don't know anything about C-Tom other than what we've learned or what I've learned right now. But he gives me Russian Shroud vibes.
Okay.
Like,
I kind of like that shout, bro.
Like just the way that he seems to just come in and be good, like just a great aimer, but doesn't necessarily seem to need to or want to put like a lot of work into the other aspects of like being a good professional if he were to want to become that in the future. Right now, it's like the allure of being the streamer is like all you need. I don't know. It just gives me that feeling. Also, the profile picture helps.
The one here in game?
Yeah.
Giving Shroud?
Yeah, it's like
the necklace
open,
and the hoodie.
Yeah, is the open jacket. Like,
yeah.
Obviously not like visually. Not
no, I know, but it's like a vibe check more so than like a physical similarity. I can see it. I agree. They have all the imminent scoreline here for WW, just about making sure they don't lose any further players. 3 of the 4 of them are fairly low. It's just a USP for JKs, though. That will be a tied-up scoreline with them being on the favored side of the map here as well.
That's the key that I think not was missing. I mean, we talked about it, but that WW still had going for them when they lose out towards the end of the first half. It's like, yeah, but it's the CT side. You're not really too worried about it.
Exactly. It's actually a pretty good return on the CT side. I think it's just more annoying that they were up 5-3 at one point and they lost the half 7-5. I think that's the only kind of tack that or like thread you could pull on and say could have been a bit better there. Either way, first gun run of the second half here, the scoreline tied up. No AWP in play on either side of the server. I like these rounds, Vincent. I like the rounds where the riflers get to take more liberties.
Yeah. With that, Shelfie, new early tool, and it's Kellyan who's going to lose out. Shelfie continues to press in and just trying to stuff WW as they attempt to try and break through. There's nothing there for WW. Losing Kellyan, not necessarily the end of the world. The plan B, kind of difficult, though, for WW, as you've been highlighting, and as is the case for this team.
All right, well, let's see. I mean, they've been able to at least find a kill back here, courtesy of C-Tom. Kind of all over the map right now. C-Tom's been able to venture in towards the A bomb site, and he's realized there's nobody home. Musu is just trying to pull all the attention back into B. He's going to get just rounded on from middle. Surely can't get another kill, and he does. Musu has done so well to get 2 kills from that position. He's given his team the best possible chance. And they're now on the polar opposite side of the map are Yuka and Shelfie. Is this even retakeable by virtue of time? Yeah, I don't think so either, mate.
I mean, okay, technically it is, but they kind of need to sprint. And like they did sprint for just a little bit, then they have to slow it down. Yeah, they're like timed out. They're going to realize that right now and just turn around.
And that's Musu. That's all Musu. He's 19 and 6.
Yeah, he's been absolutely stunning. The multi-kills on the CT side was insane.
All right, then. And another kill coming through from Strago. Yuka took a tick, but the fact that he's hard clearing the corner where the molly is quite comedic and not where he would have flushed the player out into, but it's all good.
You threw that molly, dude.
I know. That's why it's funny. They've got a lead, though. Ahead by a round with an anti-eco to follow. This is a bit of a streak now being constructed here by the T side.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, Yuka's AK being capped, that's going to be something for ex-RUSTEC to work with. More than just that. 5.7 at Deagle, MP9, etc. Oh, but speaking of set MP9, Shelfie is zooming, trying to get out in front. Takes a peek, doesn't see anything, has to fall back courtesy of the utility. Okay. Well, WW, it's sort of ironic that they're just going to like group and hit B. I don't feel like they're grouping and hitting B because they lost canal control, because they didn't do it fast enough for that to be why. But it is what's happening, and it's going to be a really good call. Drogo able to deny and get space to work with. WW from this point on shouldn't be really too worried about anything. Echo is going to clean up one of the two remaining, Jakez and Shelfie. Shelfie in particular wants to keep the AK. Gonna get checked. Oh, and absolutely demolished. And this is why we say that as much as this is the Deco show, the reality is that there's pop-off potential from especially Musu and Seatom. Like, I mean, Kelly and as well to like a much lesser degree, but Musu and Seatom have both had like games individually where they're unplayable, and this is one of those for Musu right now. Everything going to plan at the start of the second half. WW lighting into position. Just an instantaneous fight. Seatom makes space in main. That's going to force RUSTEC to drop a smoke and just deploy a more passive approach on A. How far does Yuka want to jump in here? I mean, there is enemies on the other side of this. Great adjustment for Yuka, but it's a rifle close. Smoke time to perfection. Drogo, is he just going to walk right through this? He certainly would like to. Coming down to timing. Bomb's actually been dropped. Yusu had it, dropped it all the way back just to check in and maybe to force some re-clear of information in middle. And that's happened. That's happened. Musu, great catch. Brilliance goes searching, and there's nothing left. That's those struggles from Brilliance that Iz was discussing. Interesting defensive smoke. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Gonna make their way out. Patsy elevated. The spam doesn't work. And Kellyan, take your gun out, dude. Take your gun out. These smokes meant to give WW an avenue of approach. All they've done is filter them into ex-RUSTEC's crosshairs.
Okay, forgive me, ladies and gentlemen. Needed to quickly duck out, but I'm back. And back in time to see ex-RUSTEC opening up their accounts in the second half. Now, they've done a bit of damage in these rounds they've lost prior to that one. So it's not like WW have got heaps of money. And this is ex-RUSTEC's opportunity to get back in the game. Got to be this round here for ex-RUSTEC. Failing it could be detrimental. So it's almost like If you win this round, you've got a good shot of winning the map. If you lose this round, there's a very good chance you lose the map.
Yeah, I think, obviously, for ex-RUSTEC, the oversimplified version, but one where they'll be on the back foot in such a fantastic way that it's tough to see the way out. On day 18, WW have been starting with a lot of presence towards B consistently, and they do that again, but that bomb is entirely elsewhere. 3 players walking towards A. It's the setup that you often see with an AWP, but it's 2 rifles and the bait set up there, and Deco's only able to pluck out Shelfie. What a great start.
Oh, wow. What a response. What a brilliant response coming through from the T side to bring it back into a 3v3. However, Strogo will go down. JK has tipped the scales back in his team's favor. Down to Deco and Musu here on opposite sides of the map. Musu has been instrumental in their success throughout the map so far, and now it's dancing on the pillar against JK's M4 versus Tech9. I know which gun I'd normally favor, but since the Tech9's in the paws of Musu, you'd give him a bit of a shout, but JK's will put him down. Now it's all on Deco.
I just think it's interesting how long Deco waits. And I'm hoping that Musu's going to win the site on his lonesome. It doesn't happen. Deco's still got his full belt of utility. Obviously not full health, but 30 seconds. And Patsy's just walked away as Deco's walking in. Not a big deal. His space, and Jacobs has arrived in camera for an easy enough frag. There it is. ex-RUSTEC, as you said, high impact round. Well, they've won it. They've tied the game, and it's WW who are left lacking in economy.
Exactly. Means ex-RUSTEC are primed for a lead here. We saw once they got the momentum behind them in the first half that they were, I mean, actually unstoppable, right? Because they won 4 consecutive rounds, or was it 5-2? 5-3? 5-2. They won 5 consecutive rounds to close out that first half. If they can build up that momentum here once again, that might be enough to carry them across the line on their map pick. Really weak eco here for WW, just in terms of what they have to work with. Barely even, actually, no upgraded pistols. Glock will find a kill, but that's it. And ex-RUSTEC got their noses in front and their tails up.
Solid lead they've just been able to pick up. I really want to see WW be just a little bit more discerning. I know that's maybe asking for too much, but you know, something outside of just these calls from spawn would be great. Not a lot of mid-rounding, and what little bit there has been, I haven't been too impressed with. A nice flashbang to follow that, and Brilliance is still not traded. 10 seconds later, and Deco's done. Drogo, though, it's way more than you should expect from him. That's 2 kills. They both start swinging, and he's actually spotted a third, but it's Patsy instead who does the successful trade frag there. C-Tom likely to get this kill onto Brilliance. No, Brilliance is slowed down, excuse me. And they aren't just going to get into B entirely. Hellion is slowed so much.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, might be a bit more difficult now for Kellyan to try and cross. I was going to say, Yuka's going back and forth. Or did he spot a gun barrel? Well, he now knows for a fact. He's got the nade to break it open, but Kellyan has successfully been able to get in towards his B-bomb site before the fact. A retake required. WW desperately need this round to go their way. Hits and 2 smoke grenades here at the disposal of ex-RUSTEC as they start juggling weapons. I'm nearly halfway gone already, and they haven't really made a whole lot of progress here just yet. Tom confined to the side, trying to use that pillar as cover. He'll step out, catch Brilliance off guard. That was just the low health player, though. So if you're ex-RUSTEC, you don't really mind giving him up. Kellyan through the smoke, spraying. Unfortunately for him, not going to be able to deny the defuse and ex-RUSTEC complete the retake.
That's a really good, brief moment, from ex-RUSTEC. I don't know who is in front, but the kill that Kellyan gets, he's just body blocking the diffuser. Like they know that the time isn't there. They can't afford to actually get anything done other than just hold the diffuse. And so they body block the diffuser, and that's why Kellyan doesn't track down the kill. He thinks he's got the diffuser, but he doesn't. And that hesitation buys time for ex-RUSTEC to survive. Their map selection. Whew. And it's looking better and better as this CT side continues. That's another opening duel for Yuka.
Yeah, I mean, he just continues to impress me, man. He's been a brilliant player, and he's a name that we'll be seeing around for a long time, I think, Vincent. He's one of those guys who could step up to... He could end up like on a Gamer Legion one day, and then from there, I wouldn't even be surprised to see him in a tier 1 team like 2 years from now. I asked him what his goal was in an interview at the end of a Nodwin game once, and he said to win the major. Like that's the type of guy that he is. And he laughed. He's like, I know it's crazy, but like that's why I'm doing this.
That's even more interesting to me, because I guess if you were doing an interview, that means he speaks pretty good English.
Oh, it was a little patchy and broken. I mean, I'm not sure that it was good enough to be a part of an English-speaking team, but
yeah,
there's definitely like some
right could now then
exactly. That's why I was going with it. He could practice it and improve on it and get there exactly.
Impressive. Cool to see that. I miss getting to do interviews. Fortunately,
I love them.
Yeah, not had the chance to do any lately.
Yeah, it's the one thing I really like about the broadcast that get the interviews is you get to like dig a little bit deeper and ask some questions and find out some information about teams, kind of where they're at. Don't have to make assumptions as much. Anyway, Patsy is going to be getting active through a main. He's going to lose his duel with C-Tom. That's such an important fight going C-Tom's way. We've now got the reverse fight here in the window. It's the T fighting the CT from above. 3v3 will be the outcome.
Oh, this is a really nice position. Kellyan's just slid by. Great check from Yuka. That is a wonderful read of the scenario. Now Jakis will be alive, can still be a threat. He's getting shot from both sides, but survives the both of them. Omri collected by C-Tom. Strogo being loud about his return to middle. The end of map 1 for WW if this is not a 2v3. Yuka has transitioned into the A defender. And I love how active this is as well. They've sent Patsy searching. He's just cleared B main fully. And so now Jakis is going to be able to join the A defense. There's only one path for WW that's like ideal, and that's to head towards B through Temple. They won't be doing that.
Yeah, instead they're going into A. I thought that Yuka would have baited JKS in. Maybe he doesn't need it. There we go. He does not. Ex-RUSTEC win their map pick.
Yeah, and it was really touch and go for just a while there. Lots of X Factor moments. Mewtwo had some incredible performances over the course of that first map, but still not enough to bring them to the finish line. And towards the end, like the T side, it's the classic for WW. Like this is one of their biggest problems is that like obviously there's just not a ton of depth, and as they got deeper into the T side and those faster plays weren't working as well, that's where they run into some struggles.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was a strong start in both halves there for WW, right? Going up 5-2 and then winning, like the first 4 rounds of the second half. But once they started losing rounds, they were never able to get back into it. It was just all ex-RUSTEC. So well done from ex-RUSTEC. Once they got going, they were impossible to stop. And I can't believe we've just had, what, a 22-round Anubis? Was that even less than that? I don't know.
Yeah.
That is foreign territory for me compared to what we've seen in the game just prior. Either way, mate, that is Map 1, done and dusted. We got map 2 coming up next. It's ex-RUSTEC's pick of Dust. Excuse me, WW's pick of Dust 2 here in the playoffs. Let's see if they can answer back and force a decider, or if ex-RUSTEC can get it done in 2 themselves.
For years, the power of these relics remained out of reach, hidden, sealed.
Op kill. Let's open Steam overlay and search for an op play. I need and fall back insta after the kill. Alright, let's go. Let's molly deep ramp and peek. Falling back. Nice! Let's go.
And another. He's got full control of the A side. Who needs a stack?
3 kills, make it 4. The last one left is Zywoo. Zywoo's got a second still, 76 health to play with. Looking to cut down Vipery. Zywoo 3 kills into this 1v5 if he can.
Ex-RUSTEC victory, and the way in which we got there a little bit surprising to me. I think the fact that the CT side really stabilizes towards the end of that thing for ex-RUSTEC, very impressive. That being said, we move into Dust 2. This is WW's map selection, and I mean, no surprise with the way they like to take aim duels. Patsy going to be dealt with after just 2 kills. And the mid push as well for ex-RUSTEC goes wrong, which means that WW have a man up and a post plant on the B bomb site.
Yeah, and surely an opening pistol round going their way. They're 2 for 2 in pistol rounds so far. Are WW here in the series at large. And you would imagine going to add a third into the mix as well. Kellyan in a really dangerous position with the Julies, but Yuka, he just continues to be that man. He continues to be him. The job's not done. He starts to provide the cover, and Vincent, he's just going to step forward into the fight.
Absolutely sick, man. Yuka has, like you said, he's been incredible. There is everything you could want from him and more on map number 1. And WW, though they were in a strong position, shout out Strogo, who played really well this round, unfortunately doesn't really come to fruition as Yuka plays defense for the defuse.
Yeah, and that's an insane round being won by ex-RUSTEC, and the multi-kill there for Yuka has earned him enough money to buy up an Orpia, and he's got Kevlar as well. No head armor, which could be a problem against this, I guess it's really only not even, it's a Desert Eagle. Okay, no head armor, no problem for Yuka. Orp out already, and impact out of that Orp. Of course, this is WW's pick, like you say, kind of makes sense when you consider their style and how they've just got some really sharp aimers, but actually ex-RUSTEC's most pick map in the past 3 months.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that makes me a little bit more concerned about the chance for like a 2-0 scenario in this map. I know that the results are, I mean, I'll just be real. Like for ex-RUSTEC, they're all over the place, and it's been 4 losses in a row. Some of those to teams that are good, like Sparta and Butterfly, are okay, but some not that great. Like they just got smashed by New Vision and Hunbed, who doesn't have, I mean, many players that I've even heard of. I think it's, yeah, that full Hungarian team.
Wow.
Jesus.
Okay, that is just a complete and utter bloodbath over on the B-bomb site. Kills going back and forth initially, but then Shelfie he steps in on the action. He's the difference maker. Kellyan committing to the plant. Shelfie now realizes, and maybe a chance here for Kellyan to try and isolate these jewels. It's exactly what he's done, and he's dinked up Yuka as well. Kellyan has made something out of absolutely nothing. He's going to be able to round on Yuka here to finish off the job as well.
When we say that like anybody for WW can really come alive with one of these hero moments, like that's what it means. Kellyan just out of nothing, truly out of nothing, able to recover an AK, get into position, and then nail the shot. Yuka, good as he's been, not prepared. He gets backstabbed. Suddenly the whole round and now early game has been turned upside down.
Yeah, that was on Shelfie, bro. That was on Shelfie, I'm afraid. There was no need for him to try and duck dive in on the B-bomb site there and give up his life. He needed to have just waited for his teammates. Patsy's done well with the smoke there to have found a second kill. Okay, then. Through the smoke, he's found a third. I'm still backing WW here, though. Especially with Musu coming in on the act there, sidelining Patsy, putting him down, ending his reign of terror, and leaving Yuka alone in the 1v2, and they now know where he is as well.
Yeah, Deco's seen him, but Yuka hasn't seen Deco. Whoa, okay. Never mind, doesn't matter. Bomb needs to be grabbed up. That's a tag just a little bit wide, just a little too wide. It's Musu. You backed the right horse there, Hayes. WW.
Only just.
They got it through in the end. Jeez, and I don't be honest with you, a lot of the Anubis was high octane. We continue.
Indeed, we do. In a similar vein, I thought that ex-RUSTEC might actually opt to the force buy here with how much damage they'd done in the previous. It would have been a very bold decision, but instead they'll settle for the save. Try and make a move up middle. Deco spotted them, lines him up, knocks him down. Far too easy for him on the AWP. WW will assume a 3-1 lead with the gun round to follow. It's going to be a gun round without an AWP. Only get 2,400 here. I guess Patsy... Oh, it's going to be touch and go as to whether or not he can drop one and still afford armor. I think he's going to be $50 short. He needs a kill here. Come on. Okay, there we go. He can now afford AWP and Kevlar on the next. That frag there pushed him over the edge.
Well, that's the one he needed. Most important one, because it gets you where you want to be going.
Wait, did he not drop an AWP?
I thought he did.
I think he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I saw the money leave early.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, getting Nuke that weapon, definitely a high prio. Fight out long. This time, ex-RUSTEC not gonna stick around, not gonna play the long game like Patsy did. Because who's got backup in the form of Patsy. Creeping into upper tunnel. Strogo's watching. Dude, what a clear from Patsy. Very impressive.
Yeah, first blood drawn here for ex-RUSTEC. And able to scale forward quite far forward here up on long. Has Kellyan. There's Mac 10. I mean, that might be the only problem, is that he hasn't really got the gun to take these mid-range fights. But a bit of a foothold for him to work with here nonetheless and have that element of surprise.
Cool. Well, there's the element of surprise. Fortunately, not going to get him that far.
Yeah, it's a good
Brilliant.
cleanup here. Everything kind of just working out quite nicely here for ex-RUSTEC. Yuka even going to find Deco with barely even a sliver to work with. Musu was outstanding on Anubis, and he's had a good start here to Dust as well, but that's an impossible 1v3 to win with all three players peeking him simultaneously as ex-RUSTEC get the job done in their first gun round.
It should have been a clean start for them. WW via Kellyan's 1v3 bounce back. But in the first chance to correct the record, ex-RUSTEC do so. I can't complain. Can do, though, is just that kind of haven't gotten the Deco show we were promised.
That's true. That is true. It's been a little bit underwhelming so far. You can't have these games, though, right, where I feel like it's either feast or famine with him. And it's more often feast than famine, but I haven't checked his record, but I'd wager that there aren't many like gray ratings on his record recently. It's either like high green numbers or maybe just like some red numbers sprinkled into the mix as well. But nothing really like middling, I wouldn't guess.
Yeah, I'll like do a little fact check and see, because I would agree with you that that's been typically the case for him. All
right, well, this round here is an all-in purchase. I mean, there's a couple players with a little bit of spare money for WW. C-Tom's already gone down. He's 0-6, so he's had a bit of a tough time. Aaron does 2 so far. Tell you what, Strogo, you weren't far away from finding a kill through that mid-door smoke there, mate, but unfortunately doesn't connect. Shelfie does. Not once, but twice. ex-RUSTEC on the brink of tying things up.
Well, out of the most recent 100 maps on HLTV, there's exactly 3 gray ratings.
Wow. Okay. So that tells you all you need to know.
Yep.
Interesting.
Definitely much more green than red, though, for sure.
Yeah. But then I'm checking it here. There are like 0.68, 0.63, 0.69. Those sorts
Yep.
of performances aren't unheard of, and I guess we're getting something closer to that than the green ratings out of Deco in the series so far.
100%. Which is tough because, like I said, off of a LAN win that got them 40 spots in the VRS, they come back online, lose to the CyberShix Prospects lineup, and now in their second online event, looking like it might be a continued struggle. WW calling it an attack pause here. They don't have a coach, which isn't all that surprising.
No, I'm not sure you'd want to be the coach of this team, to be honest with you.
No, you wouldn't.
Because I feel like you would just be completely disregarded. I saw someone in chat say Chopper is the coach, but that surely just,
No, he was like he was standing behind them, right?
Okay.
At LAN,
Okay, all right.
what I heard.
Fair enough.
Like that's definitely not a real position.
Coach of WW, let alone it being Chopper, mate. All right, here we go. Deco has got a hero AK, no head armor for him, though. Pistols outside of it. I imagine WW are one of the teams that are just way more deadly on LAN than they are online, just purely based off motivation and vibes alone.
That's another good point. Didn't even think about it. Should have been a kill for Yuka. Elian swung before the smoke popped, and so surprised to see him alive. Holy timing. Yuka's missed it. Yuka's missed this timing it long. It's only a deagle. But ooh, yeah, he's getting killed. Never mind.
Vincent. Mate, I've done it a couple times today already, bro. Like, the most egregious one was when Samay clears the player on the catwalk on Cash in that, like, 1v2. So, yeah, welcome to the club, mate. It's nice to have some company.
Just the comedic timing is so good.
Yeah, exactly.
UV4. We're going Deco hand on hand and side by side. I mean, they in technicality have like these ex-Rustic players somewhat split, but 2 per site and a lack of any utility to get them across. It's just going to be aim duels.
I mean, they're just going to try and combine here. They both have AKs. 12 seconds. Shelfie's trying to delay this. Oh, he's so smart, mate. He knows his presence alone will set Yuka up brilliantly. Yuka's having a field day in the series, isn't he? As we see ex-Rustic, that's 4-3 now, right? That's them going ahead and resetting the economy. Deco hasn't saved once yet in the series, I don't think. He's not familiar with the concept, and I guess that's on brand. Obviously not going to be saving in this round with the rest of the team buying up. But that does mean he's not going to get an AWP until they start winning rounds.
Yeah, or maybe gets lucky and finds one on the ground in a saving effort somehow.
Fair.
That's way more unlikely, though. Yeah, it's hard to be critical of like the buying decisions, but obviously they're not good. The point of the HE, there's not a smoke there.
Questions I don't have answers for. This is an important round for WW, just to make sure that ex-Rustic don't build up the same sort of momentum that we saw them run away with on Anubis, both first and second half. Once they got going, they were different gravy.
I love how
Jake is
passive
in the corner.
ex-Rustic are right now. They just don't need to fight. There's just no need to take fights actively. Like Jake has that duel is forced upon him. They have long control. Like they have a smoke up in B tunnels as well. They have all of the map control they need.
Well,
And
let's
this
see if
is gonna be another raw
Shelfie...
fight, surely.
He needs at least one from this position. Kellyan is going to step through and Shelfie will just instantly decapitate him. BC info's there for Strogo. He's just going to remain put, but Shelfie clears him. That crosshair placement was silky smooth from him as he swings off the angle. Or into it, shall I say. This is a very convincing round out of ex-RUSTEC. And I really like the point that you make, and I think it's, just to maybe add my 2 cents onto it, I think it's the perfect way to go about your business when you're playing against this WW team as well, because they're fiending for gunfights.
Yeah. And crucially, it's not as if ex-RUSTEC had no map control. It's not like... that's not something I'd be happy with if they had no map control. But they had the most important map control already, and then they're fine with it. So... WW, another tack pause coming in here. C-Tom just got on the board. He was 0-6 and now 1-6 as he steals away a frag at the end of that round. So he's another individual where, yeah, Deco's maybe having an off day / game, but C-Tom's also struggling. We saw how competitive map 1 was thanks to almost entirely Musu. Can't just be him.
Yeah, and that basically has been it so far throughout the series for the most part. Been like glimpses and contributions in isolation from other players, but nothing too meaningful. Echo again on the full purchase. If he full saves here, he gets an AWP in the next round. Does he know that?
He probably does.
I mean, obviously, right? But just exaggerating for effect.
I think it's that he doesn't care.
No, that's exactly what it is. I completely agree with you. Yuka will get chased down. Yeah, very nice flash through the mid doors there to set up Kellian. First death for Yuka in a while, I think. Pat's going to try and pick up where Yuka had left off, and he's now been tagged by the scout. For this round, although a low buy for WW, has got something going for it now.
Yeah, I'm actually very scared currently for RUSTEC. That HE doesn't end up going towards the duels on Catwalk. It breaks the smoke, but to no avail. Full minute for WW. RUSTEC have to spread out. Nice re-clear of Catwalk. This is really good. C-Tom, he's been heard here. They should be able to, like, lock him down. Brilliance hasn't caught vision. C-Tom's still going to die, and they still haven't put the pressure on out B. The fact that C-Tom goes down has to turn WW around. Surprised that they don't try to get out, but they don't have any utility. They had one flash.
Yeah, that's a problem. And they're going to try and make their way through mid doors, but look at the activation from Brilliance, who's gone through the long doors, and WW have just been basically like turned away at every corner. And now they're going to go back to what was like plan B of just trying to go through tunnels into this B-bomb site. Shelfie here with the AWP, and JK is in support. And considering that Yuka was the first player to fall, leave him, let him survive. That's the best thing you could do right now if you were ex-RUSTEC. Let him have a scout and head armor going into the next, and then maybe even chase him down. Why he hasn't just hit in the corner is beyond me. Why he's re-peaked is even more troubling for me to try and comprehend. But it's Deco.
Yeah, I don't think there's
and
any
he's probably
answers.
asking for a drop now as well. Like, Struggle, will you drop me a glass cannon, bro?
You know what's messed up? Is that if I was there, I would do it.
I know. Yeah, I know. I get ya.
Like, in my pug, absolutely no forever. In my real team, 100%.
Nah, I agree with you, mate. I think that's fair. Patsy going to take first contact. Brilliance was keen to swing off the back of that. Yuka's just charged up middle. Oh, he tagged C-Tom and then he'll frag him. That is impossible, what Yuka's just done there.
Oh, Shelfie, he just gets a little bit of supportive flashbangs, and they're still going in. I don't love that second swing from Jakez, and Deco's been able to adjust to the second. Shelfie just visible around the smoke. Yuka, last survivor. Deco just see him?
I don't even think so, bro.
That's crazy.
Just the game sense. All right, well, it's going to work out here for WW seemingly. I think Yuka's, by the look of things, accepted his fate here. He does lean into a more conservative mindset. Like,
don't do it. He was. Think about where he started this round.
Yeah, no, I know, but no. But to finish my sentence in terms of like saving, he is quite conservative with that decision making when it comes down to like clutches. I've noticed this from him before. He's always more keen to lean into a save if it's like a 50-50 convo. It's more where I was going with it.
Which I think is kind of crazy considering ex-RUSTEC has so much money. Like if they didn't buy double op here, they could have comfortably bought both rounds. But double op it is. It's time to rush along.
All right, well, JK's is going to give it up. No intrigue in trying to keep them at bay for now, and I think that's the correct decision. 4 of the 5 out initially here for the T side. Now they've got options available off the back of getting that early control. They could just try and surge forward on A. They could post one and go back. They could slowly scale forward. And it looks like it's going to be pretty similar to the former. The first option, just trying to push through long onto the say bomb site.
I mean, they just have so much space on A already. I don't know that there's much of a way to get back in before this bomb gets planted. So WW likely will start the post plant. And there it is.
They don't attempt this, right? When you look at their money, yeah, they've already made their decision. Like you say, if they'd been a little bit more, yeah, I don't know. They could have kept some more money in play and had more money coming into this one here, but overspent a little bit. I think Yuki even dying in that previous round as well was costly.
Yeah, I mean, if you could just actually saves like he intended to, and then they don't double up, they just buy, or they just have the saved up, they have money. Right there. Instead, they do not. And instead, WW going to pick up 5 rounds. Deco, a little bit more impact in the previous round, and now it's not him, but just 1 kill from Kellyan will bring WW the success.
Yeah, it's because he was so far forward. He was on the A bomb site there, and ex-RUSTEC was still trying to like pepper the smoke and try and disrupt WW from crossing onto that A bomb site. That Kellyan just comes through from the platform, peers down on them in elevator, and just catches him completely just off guard. And that kill from there basically just guarantees the round there for WW. So they've done well for the first time in the series now to have been able to battle their way back after ex-RUSTEC had built up the momentum. It's a missed molly, but a missed shot means it hasn't been punished.
Yeah, double AWP start for WW as well. So Kellyan taking the secondary as he had the long spawn. Yusu. Beat the timing. Brilliant, certainly watching this. He's actually called in a little bit of support. And Musu, he thought he's had the better vision there, but Brilliance clearly did. Oh, don't do this, Fancy.
Why in the 5v3?
That's
inexplicable. Way back into the round here for WW.
Yeah, really quite. And they pushed tunnels at the same time. And
Yeah.
they're doing it again!
No way. There's no world in which they're doing it again, and Strogo's going to let him go. And he's going to catch Brilliance completely off guard as a result. So C-Tom will get the kill here on Shelfie. Brilliance will now die to long. And ex-RUSTEC, not intentionally, but have thrown this round.
Yeah, yeah. No other word for it. And it's the 2 guys that you really think would
You
be
expect the least, yeah.
Yeah. Like, just don't push in the 5-on-3.
I don't understand why they've gone and done that.
And then he's just re-pushed and not cleared Strogo either. Like your teammate just died.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
died like 15 seconds ago, right there.
That's so true.
I mean, I
And
understand
also,
that
like-
he's anticipating a reposition, but I don't care.
There's no point in even making an assumption in that situation. And it's also sold Brilliance down the line as well. The defense of the entire A bomb site was predicated on you staying alive. You don't need to make a play there. Either way, that's the first half. 6 apiece here between these 2 teams as we go into the second.
Very disappointing end for the first half of ex-RUSTEC. The fact that they were in such commanding control of this half, and that's including the 1v3 that they lost.
Yeah,
That's
they were
that's
6-3
so-
up.
That's so painful.
6-3 up, even a 3v2 for them in the 10th round that they had lost. And also, historically, they tend to struggle a lot more on their T side of the map than they do the CT side, with a 44% win rate on their T side. Conversely, WW tend to struggle more on the CT side as well. So both teams now on their weaker half.
Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that considering the way that WW play. Maybe
And
a
also,
little
you
bit.
just think Deco, CT side dust, Deco,
Yeah.
like, surely that's a lock.
Especially when you've got other like aggressive pieces like Musu and C-Tom who want to play in your face. But, ex-RUSTEC gonna have to put their best T-side faces on. Ooh, interesting. So it's not the waterfall smokes. Still, Patsy's dropping down into CT. Now the long
Shocked
players
he's
activate.
facing.
C-Tom continues to fight. Kellyan's the only one to get a trade, and he's beheaded afterward.
Yeah, I think Patsy's absolutely made the right decision to... Wait, did he have the bomb?
No, surely not.
No, surely not, right? Because he's the one who's just planted. I'm going to just assume someone threw it to him because that's the only reasonable way that he had ended up with it.
Yeah.
But I think if you drop down and you unchecked on the drop down, you just hide in the corner in CT. He was facing them fighting B. Either way, WW going to give us a look in, but without a kit, this is impossible. Just a formality from here, seeing if they can add a few more kills to the tally. Don't think there's a kit on site here. And they have at least found some kills, so these players with Kevlar not going to be going into the next round. At least not as many as there would have been. And that will be ex-RUSTEC regain the lead with the big pistol.
It's such a funny thing to see. Like WW, they don't care at all about saving Kevlar. They're like, give me kills. Let me fight. How many kills can I get? Because that means I can get in M4 maybe.
And I just get more frags. I have fun. And I've got action going on. Not sure saving is in their DNA. Force buy back for WW.
They didn't
Right on
see
cue.
this.
Well, they're backpedaling. Can they get far away enough so this Mag 7 is no longer a threat? Does the Mag 7 even extend? No, it shall remain on the angle for now. ex-RUSTEC are out long.
Yeah. Safe. Great decision making. I think potentially they actually heard the footsteps on the B pushers, like the tunnel player.
I wonder if it's also them having gotten out of long without contact.
That's probably part of it too. Regardless of all the reasoning, it's a good decision.
Okay, I can confirm, by the way, Patsy didn't have the bomb when he dropped down in CT spawn.
Okay.
So it's all good.
Good.
I'm just keeping an eye on the stream to answer that one. All right, sub 1 minute on the clock here, ex-RUSTEC. Oh, Deco just narrowly missing that initial shot there. Would have wanted the headshot with the scout. Anti-flash played by Brilliance, but he's actually still going to die. And that's a meaty grenade. Oh boy, Yuka down to around half health. Shelfie's low, JK's is low. And this force buy is looking pretty damn good for the CT side.
Dude, I mean, Deco's now basically wielding a scout. That means it's an op.
True. Oh, Patsy's got to make sure to keep some ammo. Spraying the smoke. He's done really well. Even a bit of a lineup offered up there to make his life a bit easier. The Max 7 on the jump up. Patsy couldn't provide the cover necessary, but he does make up for it with the multi.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's what you'd like to see. Also, just good coverage too. I know that the bomb planter initially has to go down, but nothing you can do about the jumping Mag 7. Hope you can just hit a full headshot from Goose. Deco. Well, let's put it to the test. Will he save? This is the most save-friendly scenario.
It's right there on a silver platter. Yeah, he's saving. And he's even going to be able to get another kill as well. So it means that he'll have a scout and Kevlar in the next. It's going to be an eco. ex-RUSTEC restore some distance between themselves and WW. 5-round wins away here from winning the series 2-0. But I'd imagine it's not going to be that simple.
No, me neither. And keeping in mind that, I mean, ex-RUSTEC, they're the Swiss team coming into this. WW, the playoff invites. It wasn't the most perfect Swiss run either for ex-RUSTEC. They played their first 2 games with ex-Rezo, and they played these last 3 with Shalfie. They actually opened up with 2 losses, funny enough.
Who beat them?
Sorry, 1 second. Kellyan's got a Mag 7 that I need to respect.
Yeah,
Okay.
fair enough. Yeah, he's...
It was ex-Young Ninjas, now with Mast, and
What?
Inner Circle Academy.
What? Both of those wins just make no sense to me at all.
Yeah.
Deco's been able to find a fragger with his scout to compound the successes out of Kellyan's Mag 7. Gives them a man advantage here on what's an eco round for the CT side.
Yeah, more than, I guess, like, more than technically just an eco as well, considering the save in the Mag 7, but... I'm very worried. This scout's positioned well.
Oh,
Tapped.
so well. God, just like the tiniest tippity top of the head there from Deco shows up on the screen of brilliance, and then he just sees a flash of light, and that's God greeting him and welcoming him to heaven. Teton with the Desert Eagle will connect on one, and Deco will finish it off in style, nonetheless, as WW win a eco / light buy to draw back within 1, and that's done so much damage to ex-RUSTEC's chances here on the T side. I cannot overstate how badly they needed that round.
It's just out of nowhere too. It's there's the classic Deco that we've been discussing, that we were like, yeah, we just really haven't seen that. Yeah, that's why. I think anybody who hasn't watched WW before probably thought we were crazy for a map and a half. No longer insane. Ex-RUSTEC, not insane for them to be forcing up. Galil and AK money for Jacobs and Brilliance. Everybody else has only got Tech 9s at best. I guess there's the Deagle for Yuka, but he's taken that in order to get extra util.
I mean, this is it, right? If ex-RUSTEC loses Force by here, you would just imagine, and I'd be inclined to back WW to get the job done and force the decider. Of course, we had a 3-map series in the previous, even though it was a 2-0.
Yeah, doing the math is kind of funny because we've over 2 maps of Anubis seen 82 rounds of it.
Wow. You mean between the one we had here and then the one between Volzhak and Unity? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, even in that previous series, we had OT on map 1 as well.
True.
It was 30 rounds there. Map 2 was 60, 90 rounds of Counter-Strike. Yeah, 2-0.
Okay, I was gonna say something along the lines of, like, that's kind of early to say when you were suggesting that if WW win this round that, like, they might run away with this map. But with Deco feeling that confident, even though he missed, that might change my mind.
It looks like he's sharpened up as well. Yeah, Shelfie, that's free there from Yusu. Thankfully, JKS is in a position to trade, and Deco at range has just done so much damage on the spray down. JKS, this is impossible for him. With the auto shotty, Patsy will come flying through the smoke, tapping away, trying to finish it off with the Tech 9. He will with the last bullet, but it's going to be a very difficult clutch. I mean, a bomb plant at the minimum will certainly be welcome, but he's faked it out, and that now no longer guarantees him the plant. Deco is not going to push until he's prompted to do so. Another fake out of Patsy, and then Deco will just round the corner. You've got to plant the bomb there if you're Patsy, mate. Your team needs the money.
Double fake is wild, I agree. Never going to have a better opportunity than that. Yes, tied scoreline, WW on the road to success. This one's going to be Glock mode for the majority. Patsy's the only one who's invested. Second nade's just a little late, but could have been sick. The third nade, though, right on target. Clean up on aisle mid.
Yeah, there's going to be quite a lot of cleaning up, and none of that blood belongs to WW. as they're now ahead by a round. And they've got the momentum behind them as well. This all born off the back of the light by one win that they had 3 rounds ago. It's kind of where ex-RUSTEC's campaign was derailed. Although AWP for Deco. And I mean, I guess no one died in that round, so he couldn't then just drop in the AK. But you mentioned earlier, he's the best rifler in WW, and we've seen how sharp he's looked already. So he doesn't really mind all that much, I don't think.
Nope. This is for me where I think as much as that previous gun round what was and could be a turning point, this is where ex-RUSTEC could either lose track of this map or get back in it. Truthfully, even though WW aren't about to be economically reset, ex-RUSTEC, they're on the cusp of being right back available, especially with the tied game. Mid control. Not that. No eyes for WW with that mid to B smoke deployed. Echo looking for some defensive utility and does push it through. With a B extremity player for ex-RUSTEC, this does seem to be inclined to go B.
Yeah, and they're pretty well set up. It's not like there's going to be much of a contest for them, at least in and around middle. It's more just about trying to topple the defense on this B bomb site itself. Doubling up the smoke grenades. Not going to stop the bullets, that's for sure. Brilliance has taken so much damage. Thankfully, JK's will catch Kelly in, and Brilliance, while completely blind, will just hold down the spray. That's a fortunate frag that's gone his way. 3v3 on the retake.
Yeah, that's imperative. If he doesn't get that kill, this round's already over. He's still under threat. Right against the low HP. Under window. Long road. Strogo coming in from the tunnel.
Good timing.
Great activation from Yuka. Strogo, again, he's just really late to this. Deco never really gets to be impactful.
He's still going to try. He's been able to find the first frag. HE grenade here as well. In on JK's. Oh, it hasn't gone deep enough. Wow. I am surprised JK's has survived. I thought he was absolutely dead once I saw that nade flung in his direction. Either way, ex-RUSTEC have survived for now, having successfully tied it up. And that presents an opportunity here, Vincent. If they can... it's not a complete economic reset for WW, but it's pretty close to it. 1900. Yeah, they'd buy in the next, but I don't even know if they would. It's kind of in betwixt and between. Anyway, double AWP set up here for the CT side.
I want to say that I hate the current double op meta. Nobody double ops because they have like strats and setups as double oppers. Everybody just double ops because they're like, I kind of suck right now. Let me buy an op. It's making me sad.
And I feel like that's not as much of a fallback option as it once was in our beloved game.
It's the worst version of that it's ever been.
Maybe not the worst it's ever been with Anamgraph 2. It's like it slightly made it a little bit easier,
fair.
But yeah, not to be that guy. I'm just thinking aloud here. But it's still far from like a great fallback option.
We're past the days where like you can just pick up the op and suddenly like it's that
guaranteed
change up.
Yeah, exactly. I agree completely, mate.
Deco though,
All right.
He's comfy with it. He's fine. First
Big
shots
moment,
right
yeah.
on target.
There's a check it, Brilliance. Brilliance has actually gotten onto the safe bomb site. I'm not sure that WW are aware of this at all. Not going to matter.
Go. Okay.
Elevator right now, and he tries to take the elevator to the top floor, but doesn't result in what he was after. Yuka and Brilliance are both extremely low, and Shelfie's left his activation through long as late as he possibly can. Wide swing, not going to come away with the kill, and I think that frag determines the outcome of this round.
Yeah, it forces ex-RUSTEC to
That's
be more
late.
interested in taking these fights, and oh yeah, that's tough. Smoke down. Yuka might have been a great shot to start, but still low. Actually, I mean, Brilliance, I was going to say, if he could just buy a little time, was able to win that, but no, C-Tom, deadly, he has a kit. So the defuse comes in. WW, this is where they have arguably just sealed up the momentum that I think is probably going to take them to the end of this map.
Yeah, me think so too. Honestly, that smoke on short needed to have been deployed like 5 or 6 seconds before it was thrown. Then it would have been a lot more difficult for WW to try and actually come through from there because they had 3 players. I don't think they had a nade to break it open either. And there were 2 players on the other side for ex-RUSTEC that would have had a lot more to work with if that smoke was in play. So certainly a missed trick there. Maybe he didn't realize he had the smoke. Either way, WW go ahead here again. Decision-making time for the T side. Seems like it's just going to be a hero AK for now.
I do have to ask the question, like, if we're taking the hero AK approach, I don't know if it's Brilliance that I think should be taking it. Patsy's been great on the rifle. I know he's the guy that can kind of afford it, but like he really can't afford it.
Yeah, true. Especially with how important the next round is. You don't really want to be getting in a spot where you're having to be kind of like handicapped or slightly hamstrung.
Watch,
I get
he's gonna win him the round.
That'd be quite something. I mean, he's after damage at a minimum here, just to try and find something out of this round, I guess, and make sure WW don't keep all 5 players alive and get to build up some big economy. Might have been spotted there on the back of Brilliance as he crosses. Deco is just going to continue to fight, peek, re-peek, and frag as he pleases.
Yeah. This turned into the Deco show again. 1 kill out of Brilliance, but he doesn't have Patsy with him, doesn't have the bomb either. Now he doesn't have his life. Near complete shutdown out of WW. And like I said, Brilliance like couldn't really afford that. Has no head armor and also no utility for buying that AK last round.
All right, well, let's see what round 21 has in store here for ex-RUSTEC. Backs firmly against the wall for the first time in the series. And you could just see some bullets being put through the smoke. They decides to rattle off one of his own. And that will net him an opening kill.
What have we have here? That's kind of the way that things went down for Yuka. For B control for ex-RUSTEC, they are very passive, hoping that WW are going to respond to losing their in-game leader in mid. No such reaction. Deco forward on Cat, but nobody else is taking a fight or poised to.
Yeah, true. A little bit of an emphasis on the defensive middle here from WW. 2 players now in and towards CT. Deco tagged, but he will frag Brilliance. The fact that he re-peaks after being tagged is just so classic of him. 22-9 right now. We were talking about how we hadn't really gotten the Deco show we were promised, but evidently it was just a bit delayed.
Yeah, maybe for Rain. Had to wait through the Anubis. More ways than one, ironically. And Deco continues. There's the op head-to-head. Deco gets out. Shalfie, though, has opened up some avenue, and Deco goes down. That's the edge of the smoke. Yusu's the last alive, and ex-RUSTEC from nowhere. I mean, just all the fights happened at the same time. Deco's triple kill somehow is not enough. That is devastating, a reality that WW now sit in. And, okay, their money's good.
Ooh. I mean, it's... Yeah, okay, I didn't realize there were some guns on the floor already. I mean, his triple kill's been eclipsed by the combined quad kill there between Shelfie and Patsy. Oh, and Patsy, he's got a second AWP here in the round. See, this I really don't like, because it's just going to bring limitations into the round here for the T side. You've already got 1 AWP. you've been doing well with the rifle so far. This feels like doing something just because it was an option. I'm not sure how well thought out this is.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I'll wait for just a moment to see if there's something further. 'Cause I kind of assumed that there was an AK on the ground, but there's not.
And if this is why he's bought it, just to post on an angle for the whole round, that's a problem.
Unless it works, then it's not.
I mean, true, but also not.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's also
Meanwhile-
just going to have limitations on the exec.
I was gonna say, meanwhile, ex-RUSTEC taking mid, but Deco's there. And for the second round in a row, that Deco Yuka head-to-head comes to fruition with a Yuka death.
Oh, it's a big duel one there by Shelfie to potentially give ex-RUSTEC away back into this round. Again, look at how they're chaining their smokes together. So when the nade comes through, it can't break them both open. They're going to reroute back through tunnels with 3. Tech9's way too far ahead. Patsy's ahead of them. He needed to be, or they needed to be a bit closer behind him. A rifle would have been great, no doubt. Very low health on 2 of the 3. Shelfie, he was the higher health player. He'll go down, but at least he finds a kill before he does. No kitten play on either of the 2 remaining.
Is there one down? Is there one recoverable? I'm trying to see on that dead body. Can't tell. Oh, it's so loud, Deco. Yusu's coming from the door. That flash going to give him away. 2 directions. Not yet been seen. Oh, and Deco's been removed. Brilliant. And JKS play off of one another really nicely. Ex-RUSTEC. Oh, baby. That is an incredible recovery 1 round ago. From, I guess technically you could say it was like a 2-on-3, but more accurately, it was a 2-on-4. And then the next round, Shelfie makes huge moves in middle. The way that he defines the map control, gets his kill in mid, follows that up with a smoke, and as you highlighted, the layered smokes to ensure that WW can't get vision, and still Shelfie gets another kill, defending the mid push from. And now WW are broke.
That was the key there, as you highlight, Shelfie getting a kill in towards middle because he was trapped. He was on an island. There was no way of getting out of that alive. It was more just like, what can he do before he does go down? And they're broke, but they're going to force buy Vincent. They've opted to go all in a round in which, had they saved, they would have had a full buy in the following. 9 out of 10 teams in their position save here and then buy in the next.
Yeah, but
this is trying to win the game in reg. I know, but this is trying to win the game in reg. That's the only reason you would do this.
You won't be finding
Oh
me
my
arguing.
god, Shelfie, bro. That is sickening that he hasn't been able to get that frag.
Oh, and there's an
Bomb
AK
carrier.
now.
Oh, I was going to say Yuka lagging might be a problem. Roggo's the one who's going to keep the AK. He's like, I got the kill. It's my gun. Nice break on the smoke to expose Musu. There's more where that came from. Strogo's AK. In fact, maybe it's for good reason he's kept it. Hell of a lot of damage done to JK's as well. There's still so much time.
Okay, this still shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, fair.
They have the utility. They can scale up long together. That's one of the high health players. Just got a headshot.
Nuke's just gotten peppered through the smoke by the 5-7.
GG, man.
Christ
GG.
almighty, bro. And there's not much money here for ex-RUSTEC, by the way. That was something I hadn't mentioned, I guess, with WW's force buy. If they had found success, they'd probably win the game in reg. And I mean, now they've got that possibility right for the taking. With the way that Shelfie was playing in lowers tells me that they were expecting to play an eco. He did not think they'd be force buying here.
Well, and listen, he whiffed. There's no way to get around that. But He was right to expect the eco.
I know. I agree.
Because we'll keep the op. That's a nice thing to have, especially for how good Yuka's been previously. But like Yuka has dropped off big time in the last 5 or so rounds.
Maybe even a bit before that.
Oh, it's so bad. They're gonna have to like B rush here. They have a good spawn for it too. Not quite the full B rush. They're just gonna look for the pick.
A little bit of attention elsewhere, but Yuka's AWP, as you say, in position here to try and punish somebody maybe trying to peek in towards tunnels. We have had 7 sets of overtime on the B stream today. I said the B stream. God, what the hell? My brain is... Honestly, I can feel it starting to get cooked, by the way. Just to put that out there.
Mine's been cooked this whole series.
We've had 7 sets of overtime in the previous series alone. Will we have any more here between these two teams? Will they get in on the OT action as well?
We deserve a reprieve.
God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. Can I please stop being his strongest soldier?
I'm trying. ex-RUSTEC, they're trying. Push this to OT. Who will win? The battle of wits. ex-RUSTEC will at least that first duel on to Brilliant or on from Brilliance. No way, and it still fails. They walk by Kelly and C-Tom only gets 1. Round likely done. Deco, Strogo. Got some utility here. They do have 2 kits. 2v4. They get into B.
One of every piece of util available here. More than to try and make this one happen, but it's just so difficult. The HE's gone awry as well. 2 potential kills for that HE grenade, but it hasn't done a lick of damage. Less than halfway remaining, and it will be Brilliance and Nuke to finish off the job and force Dust 2 into overtime. ex-RUSTEC have managed to keep themselves in the contest, and they'll be spitting, they'll be kicking themselves that they couldn't win against the Force Spy in the 23rd round.
I'm kicking them. I'm spitting.
Yeah.
Stop losing to Force Spies, man. Unreal. All right. 8 dates OT of the day.
Just on our casts, by the way, was there any OTs earlier?
I don't know.
Having a look here.
Have a look.
Betem vs Sparta didn't have any, but Lavked versus Black Phoenix had 1 set. So this is the 9th OT of the day on the broadcast.
We really backloaded those for the evening.
Yeah, I mean, didn't really evenly share them out.
Back
Either way,
to
man.
double opping for fun, just cause. C-Tom's not having a great game.
Yeah, Deco with his AWP is in on the speed bomb side. ex-RUSTEC have been leaning B a lot, and he's thinking they're trying to avoid him. He's like, then I'm just going to go B. Meantime, ex-RUSTEC starts to set themselves up for an A split, and C-Tom's AWP is to be tested soon enough.
Yeah, Musu as well actually has a huge test upcoming. It's not just 1 long lurker, it's 2 players long as well. So not going to be that to first activate. But C-Tom is well blinded enough. Now here's that test from Musu.
What a kill. That's a big frag out of JK's.
He like walked back into the crosshairs though of JK's.
Oh, did he not try and fight long?
No, he didn't.
Oh my god, okay. That's poor spatial awareness then. If he had a rifle, that wouldn't have happened. Just saying. Anyway, ex-RUSTEC successfully part the bomb up short onto the A side. Deco's still thinking there's a B lurk, bro. He is still posted on tunnels. Unless he's timing out. There we go. Finally, he will pull back in towards this direction. They'll know JK's is around here. Because Musu had spotted him, but JK's will catch Strogo. That's a 2-man advantage, in fact, here for ex-RUSTEC. As they're going to get themselves up to 13.
shot from Yuka, who has certainly hit a brick wall in terms of the impact. The rest of the team, Jake is in particular, stepped up. Brilliance as well. Echo. It's not a necessity that he save this by any means. That HE, I think, going to get Jake. He's gotten away. Doesn't need to run down Deco any further, not needing to feed him extra kills. WW. For a team without a coach, they do be using their tag pauses, which I respect. I actually think that's something that a lot of teams without a coach right now, like especially some of these like CIS mixes, that kind of tilts me that they don't. They just never use their timeouts, and even though they don't have a coach, I still think they're valuable to just like take a second, just if anything, just breathe, but also allow some space for like individuals to have ideas.
Yeah, true. I think it's important, and they can serve many different purposes, but that's certainly quite a relevant way for them to get used, especially in this sort of a situation. 25 rounds deep into the game. Big contest here. Round of 16 playoff game. You can narrowly missing his shot there. Deco again back over towards the A bomb side. Brilliance has successfully gotten himself into pit. Drogo's trying to go through the long smoke, but he's just committed himself to his death. Oh boy. Okay, Mewtwo's been forced to use a smoke, so they've got a good idea. He's there. Deco goes down. They'll know Mewtwo's in on car. Oh boy, this round's completely crumbled. Mewtwo doing everything he can to potentially battle it back for his team. How is Bro still alive? And okay, yeah, I was gonna say, surely to be put down soon enough.
And truth be told, ex-RUSTEC doing anything other than getting together, taking their guns out, and just like walking up to as a unit is wrong. Even Yuka sitting in pit right now is kind of scary. He's surely going to be
completely agree with you.
Locked on long though.
I've got so much trauma in 3v1s right now, bro.
Yeah.
Where's Storm? Oh no, they're peeking one by one. Or have they split up? Cold sweats. No haze. It's ex-RUSTEC versus WW. It's okay.
No, we're done with the other one. They can't hurt you anymore. No, it's not here.
He's pushing E-box. He's temple. Egyptian gods, Anubis. No. Okay, listen. Come on, Hayes, lock in. 14-12. ex-RUSTEC have started off very nicely here in overtime with 2 rounds going their way. Getting a bit of a lead, a bit of a buffer, some breathing room.
Another double op as well for WW, and this time it's Kellyan with the secondary.
Oh, wow. T-Tom tries to peek out to help Deco. He's gone down as well. Kellyan.
What is
I
he
don't
doing?
know. I don't know. I'm not sure he does either, to be honest with you. What's happened in overtime? Have WW just lost their minds? Like, with all due respect, they're looking like a completely different team in the past 3.
Yeah, they are. It's just like all reason, all thought has kind of left their brains. No way, guys. No way. Somebody get on the site.
It's 14-12. It's the last round of OT, boys. No one's watching tunnels. No, there's no way. Brilliance has now heard it. The diffuser's being stuck by Strogo. He's in behind the box. The smoke, not going to provide the cover. And you know what? I wish ex-RUSTEC lost that round to be punished.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to be fair, they did have people close enough to get there in the end. So
only just, bro, and it was one.
Very close. Whew.
Asking for trouble.
No way. Why? 2 people in the server have a whatever you call the T side auto sniper because
right.
GS whatever the hell. 2 of them have it enabled. 2. Yeah,
that's sickening.
So like ex-RUSTEC had one last round, and listen, fair enough, it was last round. I don't really care, but like that means that they don't have a slot for something else.
I guess it is streamer behavior.
It is. Which is why it's not as crazy for WW, other than the fact they've bought 2 of them, and one of them sitting in spawn.
The Dak getting put to use. 3 chances for ex-RUSTEC to seal the fate. I don't know how JKez has lost that duel. I'm not sure he does either. And then Kellyan has gone, you know what, JKez? You worked so hard for that kill. I'm just going to feed myself to Patsy.
Yummy. Ex-RUSTEC. Happy that they're going to get out with the 1-for-1. If
Gifted the
WW
1-for-1.
somehow win this half after buying 2 auto snipers at the start of overtime, it would be crazy.
Half of the course of what we've had today?
Yeah, but like not because it's right.
No, far from it, bro. But just that's why it's par for the course. All right, here we go. Sub 50 seconds on the clock. WW got to take a bit of shape, and it looks as though they're going to... I don't know. It's still even keeping me guessing here. Fake the A short play and then go B. The best option available. There's only one player in on that B bomb site right now. 30 seconds on the clock, and it seems like ex-RUSTEC.
Oh, is you could DC? Nope, he's
Oh, yeah. No, okay, he's here. Cool, that's a good sign. Problem is, Patsy's on an island. Needs at least one, at a minimum. The Dak for Strogo. Oh my god, what could have been with an AK? Deco's so mad. Strogo's he's just baited Deco. Oh no, I lie, it was C-Tom. He's baited C-Tom so badly because he has an auto sniper. Where was the AK in spawn to be recovered? Ex-RUSTEC get it done in 2.
There wasn't even an AK in spawn. It was another auto sniper. they had bought 2 at the beginning of the round. And anyway, yeah, and not to even get any deeper in this because we don't need it, but I want to also mention that if they just go with a more traditional 2-3 split with 3 coming from CT mid, it's like no problem. Patsy's in a terrible spot, but because
worst possible position, yeah.
Because 4 guys come in through tunnels and nobody checks Patsy, he gets a triple, and that's the quad on the round. All good.
Yeah.
All good.
I mean, yeah, for ex-RUSTEC, sure. For WW, so much left to be desired. Like I say, normally when you do that, you buy the auto sniper in overtime. It's just to use the gun to spam doors at the start of the round, and then you pick up like an AK and spawn. They've got no money problems because if they lose around, it's game over. Should have had that insurance policy. It really comes back to haunt them. And I know it's a streamer team, and I'm taking them too seriously, but this is a CCT playoffs. Like I'm judging them or looking at them through the same lens I'd look at any team, because that's what we got to do here in this on this broadcast. And you know, he's trying to push back into the B bomb side with that auto sniper, and he's now baiting his teammates, and he can't get trades. It's like, you guys, and I know it's not shocking, but they're not serious, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's just the proof of it.
Also, like, to anyone who's like saying, guys, why are you taking this team too seriously? Bro, they're an invited team that if they didn't want to play, then they should just not accept the invite and not play straight up. And if they did want to play, then play seriously. It's really not that complicated. And if they don't want to play, give the invite to a team who does. I think that it's really a frustrating and stupid argument for people to be like saying.
I completely agree with you, mate. We even owe it to ex-RUSTEC as well, right? That like this is their big game in the playoffs with their run through the competition from the Swiss stage, and their run will continue at the expense of WW, who have been eliminated as early as they've entered the competition, which means ex-RUSTEC have matched themselves up against BetM. That is a very winnable game for ex-RUSTEC, you know. And actually, we had a lot of success from some from Swiss stage graduates. Voljaki, Black Phoenix. I'm going to read our quarterfinals for you, Vincent.
Yeah.
Voljaki, Black Phoenix, Cybershock Gen 1, Just Players Butterfly, and then BetM versus ex-RUSTEC.
That's a crazy quarterfinal Cybershock Gen 1, because like realistically, I feel like one of those teams I think probably makes the final. So a little hard done for the both of them to be meeting each other in the quarters, but nonetheless, that's where we stand. Very exciting. All of that action in the quarterfinals is going to be coming at you tomorrow. It should be a whole lot of fun. And then I think it's you and I who will be back for the semis.
I'm with Zola tomorrow. No, I'm not working on the semis day. I'm only working tomorrow, and I'm done for the week.
Must have taken Trav must have been with somebody else, but I'm on the semis in the finals, so I will be seeing you guys a little bit later. I won't be here for the quarters, but should be a whole lot of fun either way. Make sure that you stay tuned for that. Same time, same place. See you in the next time here as the CCT continues.